Oh man, so many great things happen in Season 8, Episode 2 of Game of Thrones. We are talking all about it in this video, so... oh yeah, guys, let's go smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back with another episode summary / review of Game of Thrones, and this time we're talking about episode 2 of season 8. And yes, there will be a lot of spoilers in this video, so if you don't like spoilers, wait till you watch the episode and then come back and watch this video. Alright, so the episode begins with the trial of Jaime Lannister. Yes, he is the Kingslayer. He has murdered the Mad King, Daenerys' dad. He has attacked Ned Stark, Sansa's dad. What is gonna happen? Well, one thing that he does not do is apologize for what he has done. He says it's in a time of war. Very, very stark contrast to a lot of the kid shows that I watch with my kids, where the characters there don't own up to any of their actions, excuses, blame. Jaime says he would do it again, so I love that part of his character. Bran takes him off balance when he says the things that we do for love, the same exact line that he used when he pushed Bran out of the window. It looks like things aren't going good for Jaime when Brienne stands up for him and makes a very interesting point known to Sansa. Without him, you would not be alive. They ask Jon what he wants to do. We need every man we could get, and they are focused on a much bigger enemy. And then comes to light all of Tyrion's bad decisions in Meereen in season 6, the war with Cersei, and losing the dragon in season 7. Yes, it was directly a result of them trying to get that White Walker to convince Cersei to give her army, but she has not given her army. So they've pretty much lost the dragon, and it is all because of Tyrion. And at the end of this, he says one of them will probably be hand to the queen when all of this is over. Maybe Varys, maybe Jorah. I wonder if this is foreshadowing. Is something gonna happen to him in this war? A lot of foreshadowing in this episode, guys. Then we cut to scene of Gendry and Arya. She has come from her weapon. He says, I gotta make more axes, and you should be safer in the crypt. So then she shows her skills to Gendry, and he's like, all right, well, let me go make this weapon for you. Then we finally get the reunion that we've been wanting for a while. Jaime and Bran, a much different Jaime than Bran originally knew him. It is at the werewitchery, and he does apologize for this because he is truly sorry. He says, why didn't you tell them what happened? Well, you won't be able to help us to fight if I let them murder you first. And Jaime says, what about after his... Then very ominously, Bran is just so ominous in these past few episodes. How do you know there is an afterwards? And again, is this foreshadowing? Is something gonna happen to Jaime? Maybe Bronn, maybe some of these White Walkers. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens in this episode. Then we got a proper reunion of Jaime and Tyrion. Tyrion says, I made a mistake common to clever people. I underestimated my opponents. Is this something that they're doing with the Night King later in the episode when they're planning for the battle? Are they underestimating the Night King with such a simple plan? We'll have to see next episode. But then Tyrion asked if she was lying about the baby, and to my surprise, Jaime says no, that was real. I was under an assumption this whole time that it was fake, and maybe it is fake. Maybe she's just lying to Jaime and has Jaime convinced, but we will have to see what happens with Cersei's baby. Next line is, we are all gonna die at Winterfell, not the death I would have chosen from Tyrion. Then he says, at least Cersei won't get to murder me. So again, are we foreshadowing something with Bronn, or are we just foreshadowing that they're all gonna die when they get into this battle next week? Then we get a reunion with Jaime and Brienne. We learned that Podrick can fight. And Brienne is confused, and we've never had a conversation go this long without you insulting me. Then Jaime, very humble, and I gotta admit, guys, this is one of the first scenes of this episode. There's a lot of them, but this is one of the first one that brought a little tear to my eye. Gotta admit that. I'm not the fighter I used to be, but I'll be honored to serve under your command if you will have me. Oh, what a good line. What a good reaction from Brienne. Long silence between them just goes to show how much of a significant moment this was for both of them. And then Jorah and Dany. Yes, Jorah is making the case for Tyrion. Yes, he's screwed up. Please keep him on. She says, you're advising me to forgive the man that stole your position. And he says, yes. So very honorable for Jorah. Does this mean that he is also dying next episode? I hope not, because I've come to like the Jorah character. He is Mr. Friendzone, but he is a very enjoyable character to have around. He also wants her to make friends with Sansa. So next scene, Dany is talking with Sansa. They're trying to find some common, or she is trying to find some common ground with Sansa to make them go into this fight on a common, organized front. Another bit of foreshadowing here. Sansa says, families are complicated. Ours certainly have been, says Dany. And if you know what's happening later in the episode with Jon and Dany, so a little bit of foreshadowing how complicated their families truly are. Then what happens afterwards? What about the North? We said we would never bow again, and this conversation that was previously happy quickly stops from there, and then we get another tearjerker moment with Theon. Oh my goodness, this one I was holding back those tears, guys. I want to fight for Winterfell, Lady Sansa. Oh, if you have me, says Theon. And very important, he says Winterfell, not the North, not the Seven Kingdoms. I want to fight for Winterfell. I want to fight for you guys. He is atoning for all the sins of his past episodes, and it scares me for his character, guys. All these guys are getting redemption. They're getting redeemed. It makes me wonder if they're not going to be here after the next episode. Davos and Gilly also have a quick little scene, and then Tormund, Beric, and Ed, the rest of the crew, they arrive. We'll have until the sun comes up tomorrow to prepare. And then a little bit of comedy here. This one didn't hit me as much as the one that probably wasn't as funny. But then Tormund says, is the big woman still here? Then we are in the war room. We know that they were severely outnumbered. There were many three-eyed ravens in the past, was revealed from Bran. The Night King, he wants an endless night. He wants to erase memories of the world by erasing Bran. And then Bran shows the mark of the Night King. Their plan is to lure the Night King out in the open to Bran, because as we remember, once one of the White Walkers was killed, all of the Whites that were following them died. Theon volunteers to protect Bran with the Ironborn, which makes me think, with all the redemption that's been happening and that he is going to be in a very dangerous spot, it makes me think that Theon is not surviving this next episode. Then Daenerys says she wants Tyrion in the crypts. Tyrion is feeling slighted because of all the mistakes he has made. But a little bit of redemption for Tyrion. You're here because of your mind. If we survive, I'll need it, says Dany. Arya wonders if Dragonfire will stop him. I don't know. No one has ever tried, said Bran. But then Tormund with his line, we're all gonna die, but at least we're gonna die together. The reaction from Brienne brought a chuckle, and man, the range of emotions with this episode, me going from holding back the tears and then in a few minutes just laughing out loud. My wife was like, why'd you laugh at that line? I thought it was funny though. All right, and then they all leave. It is just Tyrion and Bran. Tyrion asks him to tell him some stories. How did he get here? Says it's gonna take a while. Well, if only we're trapped in the middle of winter with nowhere to go. So my question is, what does Bran tell Tyrion? With the knowledge of pretty much everything, what does he reveal to Tyrion at this moment? Grey Worm and Missandei, it sounds like someone is not surviving after this. And then we go to the reunion of the Night's Watch. Sam, Jon, Ed, and Ghost. Yes, that is Ghost in the background. He is still around. Samwell Tarly, Slayer of White Walkers, lover of ladies. As if we needed more sign this world is ending. I thought Ed had the best lines in this. And then Ed, another great line, the last man left, burn the rest of us, with some very ominous music looking over the wall here. And then we're back to Tyrion and Jaime. They're talking about Tywin Lannister. I'd love to see the look on his face when his two sons die defending Winterfell. Oh my goodness, the Lannisters and the Starks have been at war for so long. So much hatred between these guys, and the Lannisters are actually gonna die, or they assume they're gonna die fighting for Winterfell. Then they get joined by Brienne and Podrick. And then Tormund tells his story, trying to impress Brienne of how he got the name Giantsbane, but it only gets this reaction of disgust from Brienne. Oh my goodness. Arya and the Hound's reunion is next. What are you doing here? When was the last time you fought for anybody but yourself? I fought for you, didn't I? Then Beric comes by and Arya leaves. I'm not spending my final hours with you two. Arya is shooting arrows and Gendry comes to deliver her weapon, and he reveals that he is Robert Baratheon's bastard son. And I thought this part was kind of weird. She started questioning about his history with women. I thought, why is she so inquisitive about this? Because she doesn't seem like a romantic type. Then all of a sudden it hits me. We're probably gonna die soon. I'd like to know what it's like before it happens. It was an awkward scene. I gotta admit, I felt a little dirty watching this. We've seen Arya grow up, and it was intentionally awkward because she's not the most suave person. She is a stone cold killer. And this is a little weird for me to watch. And I don't know about you, but I thought that I would never, ever see Arya do a love scene in Game of Thrones. Kind of makes you wonder why they threw this in there. Is this the last time these characters are meeting, or is this setting up something for after the big war? Then we're back to the campfire crew, and they're talking about how at one time or another they all had fought the Starks, and now they're probably gonna die fighting for the Starks instead of against them. And then it's revealed to Tormund that Brienne is not a knight. And Tormund is utterly shocked and said he would knight her over and over again. Jaime says that any knight can make a knight, and oh my goodness, this was the tearjerker scene, at least for me. Arise, Brienne of Tarth, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. She got the knighthood that she always wanted. Look at the look of the happiness on her face. She also got the respect of Jaime. I'm not sure which was more important to her, but super happy here. I loved this scene and so emotional. Then we see the reunion that I wanted to see. I wanted to see the interaction with these fellas, Little Bear and Jorah. She is not hiding. She is gonna go to fight, which leads to this scene, Sam coming and interrupting them and giving Jorah heartsbane. Your father taught me to be a man, to do what's right. This is what's right. And then Sam says, I'd like to see you when this is true. And the Jorah's face here looks like I don't think that's gonna happen. Seems like they're redeeming a lot of characters, building some emotional interest in some of these characters, because as we know with Game of Thrones, not all of these characters are going to survive. Podrick with the pipes, baby. He has his song. We go into this montage with Sam and Gilly. Sansa catching up with Theon. Arya's not looking very satisfied from Gendry. And Grey Worm giving that long kiss to Missandre, and this could be the last time that these two characters meet. It's not really looking good for Grey Worm and the rest of the Unsullied guys. And then the big scene that I have been waiting for a long time. Jon and Dany in the crypts. Jon is in front of the statue of Lyanna Stark, telling about how much Rhaegar loved her. He did not rape Lyanna Stark. And then the name reveal. My real name is Aegon Targaryen. And Dany has a look of shock and fear in her eyes. Not sure what is going through her head at the moment. She obviously thinks that this could be true, or she would not have this reaction. But she comes through with some logic here, and a secret no one in the world knew except for your brother and your best friend. Obviously, because we've seen this, we know this is true. But Jon, Dany, they really have no evidence except a feeling and something that someone said to them. But it looks like they believe it, because she goes right into questioning. If that would make you the last heir to House Targaryen, you would have a claim to the Iron Throne. Now, if we look at his reaction here, it looks like he is totally shocked by this and saying almost, no, that's not true. But we all know that Jon knows exactly what's going on, because Sam told him in the last episode, and he told him earlier in this episode. And then we hear the horns, because you know who has arrived. And look at all these White Walkers in the line of horses. Man, they are up against some really crazy odds. My only question is, they are hiding all of these non-fighters in a crypt against an enemy that could raise the dead. Who thought of this plan? This cannot go well. Let me know if you guys want me to break down this trailer a little more. Let me know if you guys like this video. What did you like most about this episode, and what are you looking forward to for next week? If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, smash on that like button, and join the notification squad. I will see you guys next time. ValleyFlyin out.